What's going on, Flight Simulator? We are back here in Tampa, Florida in the midst of this hurricane. We're going to take off, see if we can fly down to the eye, fly around a little bit in our Airbus 320 and see what we can do. Now, I have not flown in a hurricane before, so wish us luck. Let's see, this is what the weather looks like right now in the game. Let's see what we have here. Alright, here we are. And we need to fly south. Let's see what we get. Alright, airplane is set up. We are in good configuration. Let's go ahead and get this baby in the air. I can see we have a pretty nasty crosswind going on. Full speed to the right here, so let's go ahead and start throttling up. Let's take our parking brake off. Our manual brakes on. Get these engines spooling up. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and turn our wipers on. There goes the wind pushing us a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and throttle up. Everything seems to be responding fine. Let's see if we can keep this thing on that center line. Ooh, that's some heavy rudder. Yeah, we're getting quite a bit of crosswind. I don't know how much, but quite a bit. Yeah, I feel it even have to put in a little bit of aileron here too. Woohoo. Whoa, yeah, that's some heavy wind. Look at that sucker give us a push. Woohoo! We are in the air, landing gear up. Positive rate of climb, I can see that. Woohoo, back these throttles off. Let's get some air first before we put these flaps up. Get some altitude. Climb, climb, climb. Alright, flap 0. Yes, sir. We are in the air. That was a challenge. Wow, 42 mile an hour crosswind. We'd never be able to take off. Let's go ahead and bank to our left. I'm going to do a heavy bank. I cannot see a thing. I'm going to have to rely completely on instruments here. Still over top of St. Pete. Flying around. Yeah, that was quite a hairy takeoff. I had full rudder into that. And those gusts of wind were just giving us quite a push. Very ominous cloud layer here. The brightness is a little high. Let's turn this down a little bit on my panel. There we go. Still at full throttle because I'm trying to gain as much altitude as possible. I'll level us back out here. Let's go ahead and ease back a little bit on the throttle. And I have my first officer show up here, trying to give me a kiss in the middle of a flight in the middle of a hurricane. So, you're going to ruin the video that I'm going to send to people. I'd really like to get some really good altitude out of this to see what it would look like from the top-down view. I don't think our Airbus is going to be able to do that. So I might switch over to a little bit faster jet here, but go ahead and line this thing up. I am completely manually flying today, but let's see, what is our heading? 15. Let's change our heading to 180. Go ahead and engage autopilot 1, heading 180, 15,000 feet, and an airspeed of 250 knots would be ideal. Throttle engaged. Oh, wow, and here we go. We're pretty close to being on track. Looking here, we are right in the line of where we need to be. We're heading south. The eye of the hurricane is pretty much directly south of us right now. Let's get an outside view here and see what we have. We are flying directly over South St. Pete right now at 15,000 feet, 250 knots. Heading of 180, right into the eye of this hurricane. Very ominous. We are still over South St. Pete. Here you go. You can see where we're at here. Hold this up, but we are somewhere in the realm of this area right here. We're coming down here. We're going to go across the skyway and we're going to continue down. We're hitting 180, so we're going to head this way. But what I'm going to do is follow this coastline right here as we get down into it. But yeah, there's St. Petersburg. We're going to follow this down through Bradenton and Sarasota and turn over here into Port Charlotte, Fort Myers, where the eye of this storm is right now, as you can see. So we're in some of these strong bands right here. Real cool stuff. Back into the plane we go. Go ahead and bank back into the 170 here. So we're going to increase our speed, get down there a little faster. About 300 knots here at 15,000 feet is completely doable. Don't really need the wipers on because I don't really need to see where I'm going because there's nothing to see. Completely encompassed by the storm. I see a little bit of daylight above us. We're breaking through a cloud layer. We are. Look at that. Quite a crazy view here. I'll make another video after this with the with one of our fighter jets, and that way we can get some pretty good altitude out of it. See if we can get above this storm and get an aerial view of it. That'd be really cool. Slide to the left a little more here. Well, a lot of these people are online, probably doing the same thing we are. See if we can get a little more airspeed out of this baby. We have the engines. We're cruising pretty good here. We are headed straight for Fort Myers as the crow flies. Everything looks accurate here. About 20 miles out. We got Venice Beach down there. Let's see if I can. KFMY is Fort Myers. Right there. That's KFMY. So let's see if we can aim ourselves about 150, a little under that. Let me get our flight path over there. So we are going to be pushed a little bit to the right from the crosswind here, so even though our heading is there, we're going to slowly be pushed around. So looks like it's just under 60 miles out, Fort Myers. Flying here pretty good at this storm. We're getting quite some bumpy ride here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this plane down closer to the ground. Start our descent. Oh wow. Some visual sky coming in here. Now this looks like what would be the eye of the storm, but we're not quite there yet. Very, very cool. Very ominous look. As we approach our... Let's back some of this airspeed off here. About 40 miles out of Fort Myers right now. We are coming into the eye of the storm. Bring this back up here. Let's take the weather off. So we are currently right in here. We just flew over Venice Airport. So we're coming down this peninsula right here, right now. So we're right about there. And we should be coming into the eye right here. And here's the airport that we have. Right here. There's our airport. That's what we're attuned to. And nice little eye of the storm that we're coming into. The game's doing a decent job at drawing the storm. Let's see if we can land at Fort Myers, shall we? Let's see what we have. They do have an ILS on runway 05. It's 11 0.7. So let's see if we can get that in here. Let's do RNAV 110.7. 0.7, good deal. See if I can get a localizer on that. It's KFMY, so let's see if I can put that in our flight directory here. Let's see, program, cruise, let's see, F-plan, enter destination data, so that'd be KFMY. A destination. I believe I have to put it in directory. Yeah. KFMY. Oops. As a waypoint. Directory. Should be, yeah, KFMY is the waypoint. There we go, KFMY. There's no runway data. Interesting. Does not have that in there. I do have the localizer in place, so that's a good sign. Let's see if we can get to this runway. Go ahead and land in this storm. We have captured the localizer, which is a good sign. Let's see if we can get on the horn here and find out some information. Let's see. What is wind visible, sky conditions 3 and heavy, ceiling at 1,600 feet. What is our QNH? Temperature 26, dew point 10, altimeter 2904. Woohoo! 2904. Whoa. Something has happened. I am taking over the plane, autopilot off. 2904, there we go. Autopilot back on here. Not sure what has happened with our auto throttle, but I believe we're getting into some more of the force bands from the storm here. We got a heck of a tailwind. Some odd reason. Heck of a tailwind. Drop this airspeed back a little bit. Circle around this storm. Circle back in. We're headed for runway 05. So we flew inland. Fly back out here. And then we will land. There's the main river coming in. Got quite a crosswind. We'll line us up and then we'll do some manual landing. I am going to be pretty nervous on this one, because this crosswind is way past any guidelines that we would want to follow. So I believe the Airbus is rated up to 38 knots worth of crosswind, and we're going to have a 54. And it looks like, if I'm looking at that correct, okay, so 29906 is going to be the direction that that's coming in at. There's Fort Myers directly in front of us. Look, our airport should be, yeah, yes. So as this wind speed changes dramatically on us, the plane is doing some pretty hairy stuff. Autopilot re-engaged here. There's our airport over there. South Florida, Fort Myers. We have a better one if we need to. Runway 05 is only 6,000 feet. Not very long. Page Field. If we need to, we can land at the international airport, which has got a 12,000 foot runway. But we'll go for the 6. We're not scared. We can get this baby on the ground. Just make sure we have a good final approach here. We have enough to mess with to change it up if we have to. Get out here over the waters just a little bit. And then we'll circle back in for the runway. Looks like we're going to have a headwind, which is going to be really good for this short runway. And that might help us also with our landing. We won't have to fight the crosswind too hard. But if that wind direction changes rapidly like it has been, there's no telling what we're going to get. So let's see. Get my feet on these rudder pedals, get prepared. Gain a little bit of altitude as we go out across the water, but that'll keep us in line with our altitude bug localizer. I plan to get in line with it, and then we should see it climb. I'd like for it to go above us, and then that way as we go out, we'll continue the same 2,500 foot altitude. We'll turn into the airport. That altitude bug will come back in. We'll lock that with the localizer, and we should be set. So we can have a nice localizer locked landing here. See, up there goes the altitude bug. See that right here? It's going to climb. Once it goes up and almost out of sight, we will bank into runway 50. As it goes out of sight, let's peel our speed back to 200 knots. Change our altitude to 050. .051 according to that. Bank around, bank into this thing, and start pulling back on our airspeed. 180 knots. Go ahead and get our speed brake prepped here. Speed brake up. Is it already armed? Must be. Yep. Alright, so it's armed already. Speed brake is armed. Still are not localized out yet. Let's go ahead and continue over here just a little bit more. Go towards this waypoint, radial waypoint here. Our airspeed is quite high. True airspeed is 195 almost. Yeah, 195 knots, even though we're traveling at 180. but our ground speed's 160, so that's pretty good. Okay, well, thank you. We're landing at Fort Myers here. So we're in the eye of the storm, as you can see. Alright. Bank slightly to the left here. Go ahead and drop our altitude to 2,200 feet. Keep our localizer there in place. Drop our airspeed to 160. Go ahead and give me flaps 1. Feet. And let's go ahead and enable our approach mode. Autopilot 2, please. Slow our speed down. Give me flaps 2.
2,500.
Landing gear down. Drop us to 137 knots. Go ahead and give me flaps 3. Coming in on our approach here. Looking good, guys, looking good. Let's give it another flaps. Full configuration. Flaps are full. Landing gears down. We're coming in for our landing. In the midst of this hurricane. We have a Cat 3 dual landing procedure set up. Let's go ahead and give us full auto brake there. Let's give the cabin a ding. Calls all. Flight attendants prepare for landing. We are all green, no blue. We're 800 feet. I have clear visual of this runway. We're going to go ahead and take autopilot off here. And we will manually fly this thing in.
1,000.
1,000 check. We're getting a little bit of crosswind here.
Traffic, traffic.
People are flying in the middle of our landing procedure. Woohoo, that's a heavy wind hitting us. I am a little high. Yeah, the wind direction just changed pretty good on us.
Traffic, traffic. $500.
Little rusty. A little rusty, but we're getting quite a crosswind. Wow, that wind has changed heavily as we got close to the ground. We are off center line. This would be a go around, immediate go around in my book. But we're gonna try it anyways.
200.
Hold on, everybody. Man, this is a short runway too. Here's our touchdown
50,
zone.
40, 30,
Pull up.
20, retard. 10,
Flare.
5.
Full reverse throttle. Wow, what's going on? Why is the plane doing some crooked stuff? That is a weird skidding sideways landing. I've never seen that happen, and I don't know why it's doing that. That is wild. So the game decided to do something really weird there at the end. I actually want to go back and watch this video, but we did make it on the ground. I don't know how we made it on the ground, but we did. So let's go ahead and stop this recording. I'll go ahead and start us another one here, and we'll do it with a fighter jet. That way we can get a better visual of the storm coming in here. So thank you for watching.